Thankfully, most everyone has been staying inside as the night wears on.
Hey dreamers! So today is the day that Hurricane Dorian is coming through. Now we're lucky because it kind of shifted a little bit more to the east, which means we are only getting tropical force winds and rain. Fantastic news for us here in Orlando. But the Disney parks are still closing early. They closed at 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. and Epcot did extend until 7 p.m. That means you have all of these guests with nothing to do. So today's video is all about what do you do at a Disney resort during a hurricane. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm heading over to the food court to check and see if they have any bagged meals, because once dinner time kind of hits, the food court is gonna be insane. So I wanna check and see if they're gonna have any pre-ordered like bag meals that we can pick up right now and avoid the crowds later on tonight. Oh, almost there, and now it's starting to rain. See if I can get there quickly. I'm gonna go in the back door, see if I can get in before the rain hits. I just talked with the chef, and starting at 5 o'clock, they are gonna have everything closed down in the food court and literally just bagged meals. So you pick out whatever sandwich you want. Comes with chips, apples, and a cookie, but it is gonna be set meals. So I'm sure that's, to hopefully speed up the process to get people quickly through the food court, just because everybody is gonna be at their resort. So it's gonna be crazy. I popped over to Boat Rights, which is a really great sit-down restaurant here at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside, and I actually talked to the manager, and they are not serving dinner. A lot of the sit-down restaurants across property are not serving dinner. So most of the locations to get food are going to be quick service locations. Well, as I came in, this room completely filled with bagged meals. So the chef in the kitchen, they are working hard to make these bag meals super easy, where you just buy them, take them, and go back to your room, so you are safe and sound in your room during the storm tonight. So super smart, Disney. If they run out of food, we have plenty of lollipops. I think the kids would love that. I did a quick tour of Disney's Port Orleans Riverside just to kind of see what's opening, what's going on. We do know that Boat Rights is closing. That's where they have all the bagged meals stored for the food court later tonight. We know the food court is going to be open at 5 o'clock, where you can buy all those bagged meals. Everything else will be closed down. You won't be able to order pizza or sandwiches, only the prepared bagged meals. I also know that they have recreation throughout the resort, and they will keep doing it until the weather is bad, and then they will actually bring it inside. And then I also know that the merchandise shop will stay open normal hours. So they have a lot of things trying to keep you occupied and happy while you're here at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort. We have been relaxing in the room. I've been catching up on the weather, just kind of keeping an eye on Hurricane Dorian and where she's going. But it's about that time. It's 5 o'clock. I know everybody's starting to get hungry. Again, you know, we're Floridians, so we have a fully stocked refrigerator of a suitcase full of food. But we want to go down to the food court and see what it's like at a Disney resort during a hurricane. Now, as you guys know, parks are closed. So at this point, Animal Kingdom is closed. Magic Kingdom is closed. Disney's Hollywood Studios is closed. The only park that's open right now is Epcot, and it does close in a couple hours. So Epcot is open. I don't know if all of Epcot is open. And then I also know Disney Springs is open until 8 p.m. So with that in mind, I'm not sure how crazy it is going to be at our resort because the guests have a couple other options. But I want to go down to the food court and see what it's like for you guys. So you guys can see, you know, what it's like, because we were told that food court is shut down except for these bagged meals. And of course, as you know, the restaurant is also closed down. So I think we want to head down there and see what it's like. And keeping our fingers crossed, we may actually go to the Glow pool party tonight. They have a pool party. I figured, hey, why not, right? I mentioned they have kits that they were putting together, and I was mistaken. I thought it was for dinner, but it's actually for breakfast and lunch, which made sense because a majority of the bad weather is actually tomorrow. So the food court is fully operational, as you can see right now, and really it's just picking up whatever you want for tomorrow's breakfast and lunch. So we're gonna go ahead and get that now, see if we can carry it all.
Curfew. They have been patrolling some, but thankfully most everyone has been staying inside as the night wears on. Earlier we saw a few blue flashes in the sky. Obviously we know that that means that transformers were exploding. Thankfully, after the about half a dozen that we saw, we haven't seen any more. Power is on in the area where we are specifically here.
The kids have fallen asleep and Copper is even almost asleep, but I am gonna stay up and just keep an eye on the weather and see what's going on. It looks like a majority of it is coming through early in the morning. So I think tonight's gonna be a very late night. Good morning, dreamers. Well, we made it through Hurricane Dorian last night. The biggest part of the storm actually hit at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning while everybody was sleeping. So a lot of people are like, oh, we just slept right through it. I did stay up for most of the night, just kind of keeping an eye on everything. Just, you know, it's that Floridian thing. We just kind of do it. I did go out. You could hear the wind whipping. We did have tropical force, sustained winds. And then every once in a while, we'd have these crazy gusts come through. It's kind of crazy because you can hear it howling sometimes. And it's, you know, it's that hurricane howl. I know Floridians know what I'm talking about, but it's just, you hear that wind just kind of howling. It's kind of crazy, hard to explain. I'm sure you can hear behind me. Disney is up and running, and we just got up to take Copper for a walk. There's Copper. I'm gonna take him for a walk, but there's cars out. There's Disney buses out. The Disney parks are supposed to be open today, so everything seems to just come back to normal. Now that Hurricane Dorian has passed by, we are going to be heading out of Disney's Port Orleans, Riverside, and heading home just to kind of check on our home. We're anxious to get home to see how our house did through the storm. I wanted to recap 2 things before I leave. Really the best of staying at a Disney resort during a hurricane, and something, you know, that Disney can kind of work on for the future. The best reason for staying at a Disney World resort is because the electricity is underground. We purposely chose to stay here because of that reason. With any hurricane, those high winds, you have a lot of power outages. The last I had checked, there were over 10,000 people that did not have electricity. I'm not sure if that number has changed. It's probably gone up since then, but that's a lot of people without electricity, and that happens quite often with hurricanes. For us, we chose to stay at a Disney resort because everything is underground, which means the power does not go out. That's amazing. That means, you know, the kids have things to do, and that means that mommy has coffee in the morning. The worst thing about staying at a Disney resort, and something that Disney can actually probably learn, is how to have better communication with your guests. I feel that we didn't have enough communication in regards to what potentially could be going on. I had one phone message on my phone telling us that the Orlando International Airport was closed and Magical Express was stopped. That was the only message I had on my phone. We didn't know anything about recreation. We didn't know anything about food. Now, you guys know me. I knew that we needed to ask some questions. I did ask several cast members, several managers about food, about recreation, and a lot of my answers were different. Like, they changed. So I'm not even sure they knew completely what was going on. But food, I was told that the bagged meals were for dinner. They weren't for dinner, they were for breakfast and lunch. And really, the only reason I knew about the bagged meals is because I asked about them. There was a sign in the food court, but if you had a guest that had a canceled flight, was stuck here at Disney World, went to the parks all day, came back and went right to their room, they would never have known that they may need to pick up a bagged meal, that the kitchen may not be open the next day. The only reason I knew as much as I did is because I asked. And let me tell you, it wasn't just my resort. I had friends staying at other Disney resorts that were texting me asking for my guidance because they were having the same issue. They had canceled flights, they were stuck at, you know, their resort, and they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know when they would, if they needed to stay in their room, if the recreation was canceled, if the parks were open and parks are closed. There was just kind of a lack of communication. I think that's something that definitely Disney could learn for the future. Other than that, we chose to stay here because it was a horrible thing getting evacuated from your home. It is scary, it is stressful, but being able to bring our dog with us, being able to go to Disney World and create some actual memories, happy memories during a scary time, that's why we chose to go to Disney World. So really, I said just one, the best thing of Disney, but maybe there's 2. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, we hope this helped you. If you visit Disney from June